So today I've got 4 of the Dior single shadows to try, and I've got 5 of the Diorshow Stylo liners. So I'm going to be trying out every single one of these and the liners together to try and mix and match them a bit and see how they look together. And I've got 2 of the DANESSA MYRICKS Lowlighters to try on. And I've got all 3 of the new SURRATT Artistique liquid highlighters. So because I've got so many highlighters in this video and because they are 4 different eye looks, I'm going to split this video over 2 days. The Stylo liners have a very strong effect. They're very waterproof and they really last. So I won't be doing this in one shoot because my eyes wouldn't be able to handle that. So I'm going to do it over 2 days. So in my first one, I'm going to show you the DANESSA MYRICKS highlighters either side. And tomorrow when I film with my next 2 looks, I will show you the SURRATT. So you'll be able to see all of these on clean skin. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 47, I'm not a professional, so just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I like to show you different looks, give you reviews of products I'm enjoying, and any updates and looks I think you might enjoy. I do post at least twice a week, and if you think you'd enjoy that, I would love it so much if you liked and subscribed. And also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And if you comment below, that would be wonderful. I would love to chat with you, and commenting really does help me ever so much. Anyway, my skin tone, if that's useful, I've got fair to light skin with neutral undertones leaning a little bit cool. I've got combination skin with a slightly oily T-zone. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get on with this video. So starting with these beautiful eyeshadows, I've swatched all of these for you in natural daylight, so I'm going to play a video of these being swatched because it's a lot better than here underneath the studio lights. So here is a clip of the 4 shades that I've picked up. So these eyeshadows retail for £31. There are 20 different shades in the collection, iconic shades from the Dior wardrobe for shading and sculpting the eyes to create different looks to suit all of your desires, it says on the website. It says that these are highly pigmented and long wearing with a creamy powder. And these are available in matte, satin, glitter and metallic. And the shades that I've picked up, 2 are metallic and 2 are glitter. If you know me at all on this channel, you'll probably not be surprised. I do love a shiny one and done eyeshadow, so I only went for the sort of glittery ones really. And I'm going to be trying these with the Stylos, not Stylos. So I've picked up 5 shades in the Stylos, and I'm going to show you a clip of those being swatched as well in natural sunlight. So here's a clip of the 5 I've picked up. And these retail for £24. They are waterproof, they have an intense colour, and it says they're 24-hour transfer proof. Now yesterday when I did that swatch video, it stayed on my arm all day right through till I went to bed, so it does last going by that. I was swiping my hand across them and they did not budge, so these really do lock down, I know that for sure. In fact, you can still see a little trace of one of them on my hand. This was the darkest one, the Taupe. but that is still actually there on my arm, so these really do lock in. And it says that these glide on comfortably and they can be smudged, so hopefully I'll have a bit of time before they set in when I try these out. And these come in a pearly finish and a matte finish, and I've got both different types to show you here today. So what I'm going to do is one look on each eye, so I'm going to do a one and done look on each eye, and I'm going to use the Stylo and the shadow. And then I'm going to show you the two DANESSA MYRICKS. So this will be my filming for today before I move on to tomorrow with the other highlighters from SURRATT and the other two eye looks. So I'm going to pop a little bit of brown in the crease first before I start these looks. They are one and done, but I like to use either a bronzer or a brown shadow in the crease just a little bit before I start with these. And I've been using this one a lot to do that lately. This is the new Makeup by Mario Neutrals palette. So the colours I like to use are these sort of four, any of these four, just choosing them really to sort of match up with the shade I'm using at the time, but any of these four work really well in the crease. I'm going to keep it light today, so I think I'll go with this one. And I'm using my Ref 15 Mini, which has become my absolute go-to for the crease area. Just so quick and easy. And I love this palette by Makeup by Mario. Since I got this palette, it has stayed on my desk and I have used it all the time, especially with these looks. I love using it to mix and match with sparkly shades. And I use the Ref number 3 brush, which is like a pencil tip, to run this underneath as well. So it's just giving me sort of soft base really before I begin with these eyeshadows. I also take a little bit here of the very lightest one and pop this above the top, so it's brightening the underneath the brow, but it's also blending out, just making it a little bit more smooth. So I'm going to start with Amber Star. This is in the glittery formula. I think if you've seen me trying on eyeshadows, you probably can guess why I went for this one. I love these sorts of shades. So I'm going to use the brush that actually comes with it to see what it's like. So when I tried that with the Chanel, they were really good. So I'll just test it to see what I think. I'm going to take this all over the lid. This is quite sheer the way it's going on, so this would probably work very well as a topper over another shadow. I think you will need to build this up quite a bit if you want to use it as a one and done, going by the first look, unless you just want a very subtle sort of elegant finish, which also looks really pretty. It's got a lovely sparkle, but that's a very, very light sort of cover. I'm going to go in with my finger to see if that gives it a bit more oomph. Oh yeah, wow, that made a difference. So ditch those sponge applicators. What a difference. Okay, this does not need to be a topper, but if you wanted to use it as a topper, clearly if you go in with the brush it would be a good topper. So maybe if you had well, it could be any shade really, but if you had a matte underneath that it was maybe a similar sort of orangey colour. Oh wow, that is really nice, isn't it? So if you used a wet flat brush, that might have the same effect as a finger, but for me the finger is just so good for these sorts of shades. It's a really soft glittery one. I'm not getting any fallout. It's not one that's got actual bits in it or anything. It's really smooth. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So I've got the Pearly Coral Stylo to go with this one, and the way I'm going to use this is I want to use it in the waterline to match the colour. So these are the ones you can roll up and roll down. They have a really, really fine nib on them, which I actually really, really, really love. So good for a precise application. So I'm going to try this in the waterline. So I'm having to go over this a lot to get this to show up. It's extremely pale, but going over a few times is starting to build up, so I can see it now. It's actually quite a nice match with this eyeshadow. Now, that's the only place that I would use this one, because something as light as this, I might use it on the eyes to go along here with the lashes if I had a very dark shade. I quite like the contrast sometimes, maybe even a deep brown, and then use this as a line. So that's one option for using this, but today I just wanted to try this in the waterline. But to give me some depth, I'm going to use another stylo. This one is Matte Taupe. They do actually have smudges here at the bottom, so you can take the bottom cap off there. So I'm going to run this underneath the orange, starting from sort of in the middle. I say orange, it's coral. And this should make the coral pop a bit more. And then I'm going to bring this up for a little wing. Well, it's certainly very creamy and it's applying very nicely. It's not dragging my skin. I'm taking it now across here into my lash line. Actually, this goes on very, very nicely. There is really no drag whatsoever. I don't think this needs to be smudged out. I think it's gone on very neatly, but I just want to test out the smudger. If you wanted to soften the edge a little bit, you could use this. So you can put this cap back on, but then if you want to pull harder from the bottom, it's got a sharpener, so it's got a very multifunctional system, this, which I think is fantastic. Really nice, you know, I love that. I really, really, really like that. I think what I would do is pop a little bit of white into the inner corner. So back into my Mario palette. And now just put a little bit of white here. And just bring it up a little bit to meet there. Now this could be done with a highlighter if you wanted to get that extra shine. But I think that's absolutely perfect. So that is my final eye look using this absolutely stunning eyeshadow and the two stylos. I think I really love that. I love the coral in the waterline. I think it's so beautiful with this eyeshadow. So this one is Amber Star, and I really like this taupe. I think it works really well. That's exactly what I got it for. I wanted it to work together, and I think it really makes the peach pop. So delighted with that look. Let's move on to the second one. So I've got here Rose Tulle, I think that's how it's pronounced, and this is a metallic. I will try it with the brush again, but I think going by the last attempt, I'll be using my finger. But this is metallic, not, oh actually it's going on better, probably because it's metallic. Now this is a really nice sort of cool shade, which I think works very well with this eyeshadow I've used from the Neutrals palette. Oh, this is a really pretty colour, you know, I really, really like this. It's a very elegant evening look shade, I think. These brushes are incredibly short, so I'm not finding them particularly good to use, to be honest, but it did pack the colour on nicely. But I am going to try with my finger, since it made such a difference with this one. So let's see. Yeah, it definitely brings a bit more shine. The difference is less. This one I definitely wouldn't think could be used as a light topper. You could use it as a pop in the middle maybe if you have a sort of halo eye effect. But obviously what we're looking for with these is one and done. Well, this is emphasising all the lines on my eyelids, which happens with metallics. I usually find once I've got the mascara on, I'm quite happy with the finished look. So this is personal choice, but for me personally, aging skin will not put me off using these formulas because I love the effect of them, even if it does show up my lines. So totally personal choice, but yeah, I think this is beautiful. It's so easy, no fallout, such a smooth, beautiful formula again. Another winner, really like that. And something different with this one, I'm going to go with a silver in the waterline for this one, and I'm going to see if I can actually take this up across the top as well. Sorry, not in the waterline, I'm going to take it beneath. This one is Pearly Silver, sorry I should have showed you to start. This one is in the Pearl range. They have a bit more of a shine to them, the pearl ones. And that is really nice, I like that. And I do like to mix silver with this sort of shade of pink, which is why I've done this. So I'm going to take this up here and I'm going to bring this across. So I'm lining the lash line with it as well. Now you could go in with this liner in the waterline and then go for a deep shade here to make it pop like I did over there. But for this look I'm going for a more subtle look, so I don't want too much depth. So I'm going to leave it exactly like this. I think this is a really soft, pretty, elegant sort of look, and I love pairing these colours together, so I'm going to completely leave that. I'll just quickly go over with the blender just to soften it a little bit, not that it needs much. These really do work for themselves, they're extremely easy, really, really easy. So if you're a bit of a novice with eyeliners, I think these are extremely user-friendly with a really fine nib. It's hard to go wrong. They spread nicely, they're not dragging, and I know they last from my hands, so I love this look. I love both of these looks. I love them equally actually, just very different looks. And again, I'm going to go in with this white from the Mario palette. This is the BK207, which I use always for this purpose. The best brush I've ever found for this inner corner area. And this shade of white in the palette is one of the best I've ever found. I think this and the one in my Viseart Neutrals palette are the top two for this purpose. And this is another reason why this sits on my desk all the time, because it's just so useful for so many things. So I think that's perfect. So that was, it's so easy, both looks so easy. Which one do you prefer? I really, really love them. I'll just pop some mascara on and be back. So that is the final look with mascara. Absolutely love them. Which one is your favourite? I've already asked you that, but now looking at it with the mascara on, I really, really like both of them. So cool or warm, bright or elegant. I think that's the way I would describe them anyway. I think this one is more of a fun summery look, isn't it? This one is the really elegant one. Really like them. Anyway, let's move on to these brand new highlighters from DANESSA MYRICKS. So these are £25.50. I've picked up two shades here. I was a huge fan of the blushes when they came out in the same format, so I was really keen to try these. So these are inspired by the DANESSA MYRICKS Blurring.Balm Powder Flushed. It says it's a next gen tinted illuminator that adds a soft lit from within glow all over your face. Balm to powder formula which subtly low lights eyes, lips and cheeks and blurs texture. And it has the hydrating blend of Upsolite, which is I think something unique to DANESSA MYRICKS, and hyaluronic acid and vegan squalane. It's got crushed pearl pigments which boost your skin's natural radiance for an all over soft focus effect. Now I don't know about all over the face, but I would only use this on my cheeks and maybe my lips, and it would be quite nice to maybe match up with the eyes. Again, bronzer in the crease, this all over the eye, and then you can have a full cheek, eye and lip. Maybe I'll try that in another video, but for today I'm just going to show this on the cheeks. So since I have the peachy eyeshadow here, I'm going to use this shade here. This one is called Lowkey, described as a peachy gold with a natural radiant finish, so this should be a good match for this eye look. And I'll be using my trusty 109 BK Beauty brush, which if you know me is the only one I ever use. I'm going to put plenty of this on because it's not massively pigmented, and I'm just going to, I want to see if I can use this as a blush and a highlight first. So this is the sort of pigment I'm getting from going in twice. Oh yeah, that will work as a highlight look. It's definitely, sorry, it will work as a blush and a highlight. So this is another glowy highlight, a bit like the Rare Beauty ones that recently launched. This has a fabulous finish on it, really, so smooth. And it just goes on like a dream, just like the blushes did, in the same sort of formula. It's one of the reasons I love them. You can immediately see that sort of blurring effect that it speaks of, because it has quite a perfecting finish and it does look really, really pretty. I really like that. I was wondering if I'd use this with the blush or on its own. I definitely like it on its own, but I just want to show you anyway. I've got the blush here. This is Bellini, and you can see why I thought these might work together. So if I put a tiny bit of Bellini here and sort of lower, see how Bellini's got a slightly stronger coral finish. So a bit of Bellini there, and then the Lowkey going above, which is what I was thinking of doing. I think that's really nice together, but as you saw, you don't need both. It works really nicely on its own, but I do like mixing them. So if you've got Bellini in your collection, Lowkey is a lovely match. And because this is balm to powder, you shouldn't have to powder it down. It should pretty much set itself and lock itself in, which is something I can attest to because I've tried these formulas before. It's given me a lovely radiance. I really, really do like that very much. So now for this side, I'm going in with Unbothered, and this is a mauve pink gold. So perfect, I think, with this particular eye look. So I've cleaned off my 109 brush and I'm going to go in with this. You could also put this on your fingers and tap it in. This is just the way I much prefer to apply any product like this, is with this incredible brush. Beautiful. You can see, if you just want to see what a really light layer looks like, really nice. I'm going to pack on the colour like I did with the last one to try and get a blush effect. So this is the third layer now. You can see how much I'm getting, so it's really buildable. That is so pretty. I think these are going to be so popular. I know the blushes were one of the best selling things from DANESSA MYRICKS, and I think that this highlighter is going to be as successful. That is absolutely stunning. I love it with the eyeshadow. Really built that up quite a bit now. So again, this works really nicely as a glowy blush highlighter. But I am going to try it with the blush that I would like to match with this. So this is Rose and Brunch. I'm going to take some of the Rose and Brunch here. I'm going back in with a little bit of this Unbothered Lowlighter over the top of Roses and Brunch. You see, working the two together. Again, just like this side, they really do work well together. And I will test out putting this over my lips. I've got a bit of a colour on, not much. It's very comfortable on the lips, but can you see how it's just shown up every single line? So I think it doesn't look good on my lips at all. It is a highlighter essentially, so it's highlighting every single line in my lips, so I won't be doing that again. I might actually go in with the Rose and Brunch blush, which I know works on the lips. There, I think that's recovered it. It's almost like a lip balmy cream feel on the lips, so it does look better now because it's not highlighting. They don't last on the lips though, I would say that. They don't last long at all, but it's a nice way to get that sort of cohesive look. So on this side, my lips, cheek, and really my eyeshadow are quite similar, so that's quite a nice pink look, isn't it? So there we have my peachy side today with the DANESSA MYRICKS and the Dior Stylo and eyeshadow, and then my pinky look. Really, really like both of them. 10 out of 10 for every single thing I've tried today. Really, really, really love everything, apart from the DANESSA MYRICKS on my lips. But I love everything else, really enjoy them. So I will be back tomorrow with 2 more eye looks and show you the SURRATT highlighter. Hi, so I'm back now on day 2 with a fresh face, and I've got everything on my face as yesterday, including the exact same eyeshadow in the crease. So I'm going to go straight in now with this shade from Dior, and this one is Celestial Grey Glitter. I'm going to try the brush. I'm going to try it on this eye. That's going on quite nicely with the brush. Now with the last glitter, the difference between finger and brush was huge, so I will look at both. If you're looking for a fairly subtle, soft look, this brush will definitely apply it that way. And again, I think it would work as quite a nice topper over a matte. So this would have multi-purposes, I think, if it layers very thickly with the finger. So that's how it looks for a very light look, which is actually very pretty. And that would work as a one and done, and it would definitely work as a topper. But let's look at it with the finger now. Yeah, exactly like the other one. The application is almost doubled by using the finger. So there is Celestial Grey. I think that is really, really nice, and I do like it with this brown. And saying that, I'm going to use a brown shade liner. So this one is Pearly Bronze, and I'm going to run this underneath. So quite a few layers there to get this much depth, but very, very easy to apply. You can just see a little bit of sparkle, which I really like. And then I'll take it up for the small wing here, and then across. So again, a bit like the pink look yesterday, this is quite a soft liner to use. This is going to give me quite a soft, sort of elegant look, not too strong, not too defined. If you wanted to go for that, I would go with a much darker liner, like a black or a deep brown. But this is how I do it to make a soft look. And I do like to mix silvers with browns and pinks. And just go over with the smudger to just smooth this over the edge. And pop a bit of white in the inner corner, as with both of the first two looks I did. And that's it. That was super easy and I love it. I think these colours work really nicely together. So on to the last one. So this is Beige Mitzah Metallic. Now this is the only one that isn't actually new, so it's not in the new formula, because these are basically reformulated powders, and a lot of these colours, maybe none of them are actually new, I'm not actually sure, but I know that they're coming out on the website as new, but I know that they're actually just reformulated. So I didn't change this, and from swiping it I don't think I'd want to change it, because the formula on the original is beautiful. And this is actually the only single shadow I have from Dior, so the rest of these are all brand new and my first. But this one was my very first and only one, and I got this because it's so beautiful. So I will try this with the brush. Being a metallic, it should apply quite well going by yesterday. Yeah, it does really pack on using this. I'm trying to leave a little bit of a gap there for the inner corner to put the white in, because I don't want it to be too deep in the inner corner, because it's quite a dark shade for me. This is definitely more of an evening look. And I'll take some on my finger just to show you if it makes much difference. You can see that the shine definitely goes up a bit. As with yesterday, the difference is less with the metallic. And for something different, I'm going to use Matte Mint as my liner, because I've really enjoyed using this sort of shade with browns recently, and the reason I've discovered that was because of the Victoria Beckham Seafoam. So I'm just going to swatch these two together, just in case you already have Seafoam and you want to know if Matte Mint is exactly the same or very similar. So here is Matte Mint and here is Seafoam from Victoria Beckham. So there is quite a difference actually, because the Seafoam has a lot more of a deep shade to it. Matte Mint is a lot lighter, a lot more brightening. So with this Beige Mitzah being quite a deep colour on me, I hope this is going to give me a little pop of brightness. Well, this might not be to everyone's taste mixing these together, but I really love to mix these two. And as with all of these liners, I do seem to need to go over quite a lot of repeats, whereas with the Victoria Beckham, sort of one or two swipes and I've already got a lot to work with. These ones, if I want to see the colour, I do need to really keep working get it to build up. I don't think this is working in the same way the Victoria Beckham Seafoam one does. That one is so pretty with a brown, but this one is just not popping for me. I've put it into the waterline. I do think this is very nice, but I don't think it's working with the brown. Maybe it would work better with the silver. I think it would work quite nicely with that. So I am going to go in with the taupe again that I used at the start of this video. So I've gone over that with taupe and I think that works so much better. I don't think that green worked at all actually. So if you are looking for a nice green liner, personally I would go with the Victoria Beckham. It's just got a little bit more depth and I just think it looks beautiful with so many different shades, and it really does work with brown, and it would work with the silver, it would work with a few things. Whereas this mint one I think probably is quite nice in the waterline, but only really if you're going for a green eye. I don't think it's working very well as a mix and match. Whereas this taupe, which I used at the start of the video, works very nicely with it, so I'm quite pleased with that. So we got there in the end. I'm finishing with the pop of white here. So I put my mascara on and this is my final look with both of these ones. Which one do you prefer? Again, I'm a little bit torn. I would actually like to use these two together with this silver as the inner third of the lid and the beige Mitzah on the outer. I think these would mix together beautifully with this liner. I really do like this taupe liner, you know. I think it'll probably work with all of them. So delighted with all of these looks. This is me from an hour later, just quickly inserting this clip, because after I finished filming I did do exactly what I said I thought would work, which is mixing the beige Mitzah and the glittery silver together, and just look how good they are together. So I've got the silver in the first third and then the beige Mitzah, and on the other side I used the same liner as this side, so I've gone in with the taupe liner. And I absolutely love this. I think they work together beautifully. So there we go, just had to show you that. Let's move on anyway to the SURRATT highlighters. So just for transparency, I just want to let you know that these were sent to me in PR because SURRATT kindly sent these to me, but I am over the moon because I'm a huge fan of SURRATT. They've also just given me a 15% discount code for you, which I'll put below. So thank you so much to SURRATT for giving me that, because I really do love this brand. It's so mature skin friendly and such high quality. The packaging and the formulas are brilliant. Anyway, this is just recently launched. This is the Artistique highlighter. This is a cream highlight and there's 3 shades. Described as a lustrous liquid highlighter with a lasting glow. And it says you can keep tapping on until you achieve your desired glow. And the formula is buildable and won't disturb your base makeup. And it says you can also layer with the powder blush on top or with. So I'm not going to do that for now. I'm just going to use them, see if I can get a bit of colour out of them. So like with the DANESSA MYRICKS ones, can they be a glowy blush? And just very quickly, in case anyone's wondering about the base that I'm wearing today, I do have, and yesterday, I do have cream products on, and I've powdered my T-zone. I haven't powdered here because I'm putting liquid products on, even though I think these will work on powder, to be fair. The base I've got on is this palette here from Makeup Forever. I've been using this one all week. I cannot stop using it. I'm using it for my contour, bronze, a tiny bit of blush there, tiny, because I want to get the colour today from the highlight, but I've even used this as my concealer today, so I'm just using this all the time. It's really, really good. So before I show you these, I will quickly play a video of me opening and swatching these for you.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the potion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, where I'm going.
So the first one I'm going to try is the FROU, which is an opalescent pink. I don't know if it's FROU or FROU, but anyway, the packaging is stunning and it's really easy, just twist up, and quite a lot of product comes out, but from swatching it, it does seem like you can probably apply quite a lot. I'm going to start with that much, and I will use my 109 brush. I'm not going to use my fingers or the sponge to actually blend this. So this is a very, very light colour. I'd say the pink is very very light. Very pretty though. This is just blending in so beautifully, and as with all SURRATT products, it's just not emphasising any texture whatsoever. It's extremely natural, which is a real theme of the brand. Everything I use from them has that sort of really natural effect, and also that really mature skin friendly. So it's a very subtle pink, as you can see it catching there in the light. I think it is absolutely stunning. I really like that. But it's not giving me enough colour to call this a blush. Now let's be honest, it's not a blush, it is a highlight, so that's what it's for. I just wanted to test that because so many of the products coming out lately seem to be able to cover you for blush and highlight. So you do need some sort of blush on your cheeks to go with this. But yeah, that is a really, really pretty pink, very subtle, really nice. I love this sort of highlighter. It reminds me of the new Dior ones, the Glow Maximizer, very, very similar. So I'm going to try LAMÉ, which is a champagne gold. So again, a very subtle shade, not in your face, very elegant, not emphasising anything, and it's just giving you that little hint of gold. It's really, really beautiful. So if you're someone who doesn't like your highlighters to shine from the heavens, exaggerate texture and pores, and if you like one that looks natural and you can mix and match colours, I think these would work with any eye colours, but you could match it if you've got gold in the eye, and on this side if you had pink you could match it with a pink, but they're very subtle. I think that these would work with any colours. It's definitely my preferred way to wear highlighters. I do love shine and sparkle, but I think this is the most complementary way, which is why the Dior ones are my favourite, and this really is very much like the Dior. Not as pigmented as Dior, I'd say, more subtle, but very similar, beautiful finish. So to try the last one on, I'm going to clear both my cheeks for you and come back. So the last one I'll be trying is CHICHI, which is a rose gold. I'm going to take this one on both sides. This is probably the most pigmented of the three, and I think that's my favourite of the three. Seeing that one straight away, that is beautiful. I do have a little bit more of a cream blush on. I applied a bit more from the Makeup Forever palette, and I think that that sits very nicely on top of the cream blush there. Just taking a little bit there on the higher point of the cheek. There is rose gold. Really like this one, definitely my favourite of the three. I think I'll use LAMÉ. Let's just try a little bit down the nose. And the Cupid's bow. Yeah, it works nicely for that. So I think that these are really pretty, and you cannot go wrong with them. They really are a beautiful formula. So if you're a fan of these sort of cream subtle shades, if this formula, like I said, it's like Dior but more subtle, there's less pigment. I think this is probably the most user-friendly out of the two, because it doesn't seem to set down, so you're not having to rush to apply it, and it's just not that pigmented, so you're less likely to make a mistake and then have to fix it. So it's more user-friendly, but it depends what you prefer. If you prefer a sort of subtle, elegant, really mature skin loving cream highlighter, you are going to love these. So definitely recommend them if that's something you enjoy. I certainly do, and this one is definitely my favourite. But I do think you could have any one of these three shades and they will work with whatever makeup colours you're wearing. So that's my final look for today and all the products tested here for you. I've really enjoyed doing this. I would not normally have put both highlighters into one video, but I'm going on holiday for a week and I really wanted to get both of them out because they're quite new. So that's why I've done all this in one video. So I'd love to hear from you. Which have you preferred today out of all the different eye colours, eyeliners? I really don't know if I can pick a favourite, but what I can tell you is I'd happily go back and probably buy another 4 more shades of the eyeshadows, and the eyeliners as well. They really are fabulous. I'm delighted with them. So everything from Dior, massive 10 out of 10 plus more. Beautiful. I'd love to hear which ones you've already got in your collection or which ones you might be picking up. What did you like today? What was your favourite? And as for the highlighters, Danessa Myricks ones have gone straight to the top of my current favourites. I'm really impressed with those, and I'm looking forward to using them more with the Danessa Myricks blush. And the SURRATT highlight, absolutely stunning. They're definitely gonna, I'm really torn now. What do I use? Do I use Dior, SURRATT or Danessa Myricks? Because honestly, they are stunning. The makeup coming out this year is phenomenal. So anyway, I would love to hear what you think. Which one would you choose out of the 3 highlighters? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I would love it so much if you liked and subscribed and hit that notification bell. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for returning, and I hope to see all of you for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!